Legonauts. I was told I need to be upbeat, so I'm going to try to be upbeat about this. Still a little fired up from last Friday about what was all going on. If you haven't checked that out, check Friday's stream out. All right. Last week we left off. I actually had the wrong model in here. It was missing pieces and parts. It wasn't my fully updated. And I got to thinking, I'm just like, I thought I had the model completed in studio. Turns out I did. I just had the wrong one up. So, just to show you all this wonderful stuff on the inside wasn't in last week. So, fired up. Yeah, I am fired up. So, but it's all back. I have it all to where we left off last week. Everything last week we went through, uh made sure that of the oh sorry uh submodels were all in the correct spot. Just organizing essentially is what we were doing this week, and I forgot to bring it up, and that's what I need to do now. Give me 1 second. Studio streaming. Nope. Monday stream. There we go. Aha. Let's see. Gotta play. This game with it. Completely forgot about putting this up, and I apologize in advance. Oh. There we go. That'll be good enough. Put it over there for now. Okay. And I need to move this back over here. I definitely need to get a third monitor. These two monitors are just not working for me anymore. And there we go. All right. Oh. There we go. All right. This week we're going to go into actually the instruction maker. And then what I want to do is go in and we're going to design to the instructions up to a certain point, and then we're going to be adding on, then coming back to the manual, just to give us the idea of how we want to get this set up. I've been giving this a lot of thought for about a year now, and I think I pretty much want to do it somewhat like how they have the Saturn V kit instructions laid out. So it'd be a little bit easier. People could follow along and do what they need to do when they get building. So first we're going to save. Always save. Instructions will actually tell you to go in here and save. All right. And as you can see, I have them all laid out. Wait for this thing to upload. And there we have what the models just in pretty much a step view. So we are going to go, and it will not matter. We are going to go into one of them, and we're going to release those, and then we're going to select them, and we're going to make an empty step, and we're going to take them, put them in step 2. So, because I do not want those in there. What I want, we're going to look through the instruction manual and see where that first bag ends. Just scrolling right here. So, and I designed this to incorporate 4 Saturn V kits. So, this will be the full instructions with the parts, knowing that the Saturn V kit is now retired. It might be easier to, it might be cheaper to find the 4 Saturn V kits. It might not be. It might be cheaper to just purchase the whole parts list outright. I haven't figured that out. I haven't looked at it at all, but that's something that later on I'll end up going through when I do a parts list for this. We'll figure that out. So, and turn my phone. I don't want that. I gotta. Messing around with Windows Media Player. It's looking good. Good there. And all right. That. Nope. Come on. There we go. We're going to do that. And we're going to do this. And there we go. All right. So, sorry about that. I am all discombobulated tonight. The power went out yesterday, and literally right before the stream started, I hooked up my monitor, and none of my sound wanted to switch over to my headset. So I had to hurry up, turn off all my sound, reinstall it. It was a big pain, and I'm a little flustered because I would have had all that time to set everything up, and I didn't. So my time management sucks tonight. So, all right. We are going to take this. We're going to, I want to move it to step 2, I believe. Oh, whatever step 2 is. Where did I? Yep. And then actually, we're going to move this to step 1. This all needs to get thrown down into a step further down. And back up to step 1. All right. So this is. Hey Logan, how you doing tonight? We're just getting started. Just to do a quick overview. Pretty much, I opened up my program. I have all my steps aligned. I'm just now in Instruction Maker, starting the process of going through one of the submodels to create to start creating instruction steps. So you didn't miss too much. So what I'm going to do for here, I'm going to release That's fine. I know you. I know classes. You should be close to getting going into final week here soon, with it being December and everything. No worries. That's why it's recorded. All right, so I'm going to select these. What I don't want, we're going to go back up here to step one on the bag, and we are going to move this stuff down to step three. We are going to move everything into a different step that we don't need. So there we go. And then if you hit control, you can click on what you need, move it over. Step one is 2, so we can do that. All right. So essentially, this is step one. Step one is putting the 8-round halves together. Then step two, don't want these in there yet. Get moved down here. Then step two is putting the round 1x4 in there. So, and then move on to step three. And essentially, what you're doing here is these are the steps that you're going to be taking. So, what I want to see. Something's not gone. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So this would be called a call out box in this third step. Pretty much how you get a call out is it's just a submodel. So these four are I got to create a submodel. So and you can name it for whatever you want. I think I'm just going to leave it at submodel 4 and be done with it. We're going to go back down to step 3. Move those up, and then move all this to step 4 to a different step than what I need. And so, all right, I want to delete. I think I want to delete. And you can't delete in here, I don't believe. I can move to, I can do a submodel pan. So effectively, I can't delete in here. So, and I needed to create a submodel. Now, I don't believe I can create a different submodel. That's not what I want. So, from here, I got a file, save, exit back out of here, let it load, let it do its whole thing to get back into the main screen. And then what I got to do is, since all those models are the same, I got to go in here and then what I got to do is literally just go into the model, hide everything that I don't need. just to get to the part I need to go to. So, and then that's submodel group 4, which is fine. Same goes for everything here. I don't need those. Hide those. And delete those ones. And then I want this submodel here, so I'm going to copy, paste, swing around here, and then paste those. So all 4 of those are now titled under the same. And then I'm just going to bring it back all the way up to step 2, I believe, which will actually be step 3. Now you could do the same thing, not in an instruction maker, but if you knew, I could literally go through these instructions and do the same exact process. It's just easier to go, and I forgot to show all, because when you go back into instruction maker, okay, it did show all of them. Okay, well, let me exit back out of this, because you want to save. And okay, so I did do show all, I did not save, so we're going to save. Just double check. Okay, that's all good. File, save, then go back into your instruction. You always want to save before you go into instructions. There were glitches and whatnot in there. And then you can select either any one of these submodels down here. It doesn't matter. You will get the same one. We're going to go into view steps again. And now we are back to where we started. Step 1, step 2. Now we're in step 3. Now I have all these as the same submodel. Doesn't show it, but they're all the same submodel number, same title, everything. So then we just continue on. And it's a repetitive process. It just gets boring after a while. Okay, and then we need the floor. One by ones. We're going to stick those in step 4. And we're going to add a bunch of steps. We're going to take all this. Move it down a couple. And we're good. Go 4. And then 5 will be these guys. And all I'm doing is hitting control and then selecting what I need. So, and we're just moving up. And then again, we might have to do the same thing if I did not. So Create into submold. That'll be submodel group 5. And then we go to save, exit. And then we're just going back and forth as we're making the actual steps. So, let's see. Go back in here. Hide, hide, hide. Oh, excuse me. Been hydrating all day and I'm still coughing. So, all right. So, we're going to hide that. Hide all this for right now. Hide, hide. Hide. All right. Hide that. Hide that. And that's what we want. And this is what we don't want. So copy. Yep. That. Right. Paste. Paste. And there we go. Now, real quick. We'll have that. Can easily, just trying to look ahead. Submodel. Create into submodel. Yeah, hydration is important. Come on. There we go. And just going to put these parts and there we go. Okay. Hide. I think should be good for a little bit until we get to the sides. So should be good for right now. We're going to show all and return the main model, save, and go back into instructions. So again, this is the reason why naming your submodels is important, because if I have copies of the same submodel, I don't have to go back to every submodel and change everything. Just go into one submodel. The same thing will change into one whole submodel, and it should all be good. So 2, then you can check your progress. 3, 4, 5. I gotta figure out. There we go. Okay. And that one, empty step. Throw that one up to step 6. Now, what I failed to do was to move my parts and pieces back up. So now I have to go literally to the last step, click on all of them, and I need to move up and move them all up to that the top step, or that step 6. And that should be it. And I gotta go back up again. And there we go. What I don't need is that. Move all that a couple steps down. And these ones can get moved down to that one for now. So, and once I get done with this first bag, I'm going to take you into the page design, and we're going to start getting things set up. So this is where we're at right now, page 6. Or not page 6, but step 6. We're going to go to step 7. We're going to go down here. And we're just going to grab those 2. Throw them in 7. Grab the other 2. Throw them in 8. Then grab all this. Move them down just a tiny bit more. And we're going to move the page down. And then do our submodel group. That's why I went ahead and did that submodel early. That is step 9. And that's in step 9. Step 10. And step 11. All these down a little bit further. let's see, that's step 12. And all right, from there we have the side, which are I believe those are that's where they are. I do believe. Want to say turn to parent. View step. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, that's why it's doing that. I think maybe it's this one here. Oh, maybe not. Get an idea. Nope. So I did something differently than what the book had it. Okay. So there we go. So we are going to release these ones. I'm going to save just in case and then exit out of here. And go back. This. There we go. I'm trying to see if I did anything different right here. I don't think. I mean, according to the book, I did. So I'm just taking a look before I proceed. Okay. And that's another thing that Lego does on Studio. You gotta watch it. Sometimes your gaps, like it doesn't want to sit down flush and correctly. And we're going to show all. Then hide. And then I want to make sure that nothing is hitting that. And it doesn't look like it. It actually looks like it might be a support for that piece right there. So is that the blue? Yeah, it's tight and when you want to instructions, you kind of want to make as perfect as you can, visible, and so people could, people understand it a lot better, and that's really the main goal. All right, and then we're gonna put that into a submold. Okay, and then we're gonna copy it, and then we're gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna hide. Oh, I don't want to hide. I want to release. Hide that one. And I'm going to delete these ones. What step? They're at 37. Okay. And just put that one in there. It's how it'll have the same step, and then we're just going to bring that up to step 14 in here. Oh, I'm going to bring it up to step 20 for right now. Expand that. Step 14. Put that one in step 14. Okay. Step 13 are those, so actually I need to cut that out. Turn up to model. Excuse me, upper model. And then paste that back in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh. Put the 1x2s in 13. We're going to put them in 12, expand 13, and then place them in there. And then show all, return, save, instructions. Wait for it to load. View steps. Come down here and then go down to 13, and now you can see we have them exactly like it is in the manual. 14 as well. These are just to give the call outs. And all this can be adjusted later on, but I'm just trying to get as close as I can from what I'm seeing on the page to what we are, to what I'm seeing right here on studio screen. So, and now we need the other side. So, file, save, okay, exit. Go back into here. We're going to hide. Hide that, hide this. And go in here.
these. And we're going to cut those out. Oh. Oh. Not here, okay. Just double checking. Let's see, 2x10, 2x10, okay. Create a submodel, cut, return upper, paste, and then.
Now this is where my instructions are going to differ a little, is in this step right here. That should be a white. So mine is going to be there, there. Cut, return to upper model, paste, right there. Okay. Put those right there. Oh. Okay. Yeah, don't be shy, chat. Give me something to talk about. Hello to everybody that's on. We're just sorting through Lego and trying to get instructions made. I'm trying to get down to at least bag 1 through this. And then we're going to go into Instruction Maker and it'll start getting pages set up. Hide. Let's see, is that is not a call out, so I'm not going to do that. Okay. Okay, so turn to main. Instructions. I forgot to save. Okay, file. Save. Few steps. All right. So. And we got those. Okay. And then I need that's fine, Johnny. Logan said he might be falling asleep while he's watching, so I know he's been up. I'm sure he's getting ready for finals. There we go. I want this and that. Maybe not so much that. Uh-oh. I want that up to 15 or 16.
16 for right now. And I've got to find what I did. There we go. Throw that one all the way up. Oh boy. That's what I wanted. Now is in my step 15. Okay, that's what's in my step 15. These down. Then you're going to throw this one in 15. Now, this is where mine's going to differ because you're supposed to have only two, but because one of these is different, I'm going to have two separate call outs for it. So then take this and move it down. And then that'll at least give me this. And then what I'm going to do is I want to create a step right after this one. So that way I can just throw anything I don't need into it. Do these ones as well. And I want these ones in step 17. So essentially, I just added a step so the numbers don't align exactly right now. That's going to be the reason why. That was 17. Now I need to go down and grab that one. 18. Grab all this. Down here. Grab whatever I got in there. Move it down a little bit further. And 18, 19, there we go. Then all this. There, all right. So then we're going to need the two dark gray. So I'll throw that one in there for now. Put that in there. And then all the 1x2s will be in this step. Oh. Will be in that step. Okay. So that in there. And throw these. Step behind. all those 1x2 jumpers will go in here. And the same thing. Oh, you can also go in here, control right click, or excuse me, left click. Just grab all of them. And we can just easily throw them in there. Yeah, Studio, once you get the hang of it, or the instruction maker, once you get the hang of it, is not hard. Now, when I get out of these the Lego instructions, stop mimicking them, then it becomes a little bit more difficult because then I have to choose what do I want to show in what step. So we got that. Then all this. Go to a step below. Step below. That go there. Okay. Then we are on there. They actually show step 23 or 24 for me. So I would need to add one in there. Get these four. And do it that way. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm doing a intentional skip. And once we get into the page design, I'll come back to it and show you why I skipped it. And then all of this. Go down here. 24. And then we're on to 6x6. So what I want to do is grab all this and throw it in the step above. And again, take it. Click what you don't need, what you want to get out of there, and then just move it. Okay. So what do I need? I need these four. And we're going to throw that in 26. Then everything that we don't need. And we're going to throw in there. Then all this. Here. I'm just going to add a couple more in between. All right. We need this. Put that in there. Okay. Select these ones. Oh, Or I could just make it easy on myself and do it that way. There. All right. Okay. Then down here. Select those four. Put them there. And then I'm going to have to save, exit, and we're going to make a submodel out of these ones. I could have done it in here, but it's sometimes faster just to sorry. Sometimes it's faster just to get in here and just creating one model. Oop. And getting in here, just replacing all of them like so. And it looks good. All right. Now, all these. I'm just going to put in 31 for right now and show all, return the main, file, save, instruction. Go back to view steps. And I put those in step 31. And there they are. So I'm going to click on all those. Throw them in. Nope, that's right. Throw that there. And those. And just throw them up here for right now. I need to move these down a couple. Doot, doot. And let's go into there. And then the next step, I'm going to do all 4 of those. Okay. So this is again where mines differ. To get the correct height, I had to head into it, so it's going to be a little slightly different from what's on here. So do this. Oh boy. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh well. Interesting. Yeah. It's a pain. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a pain. It's dull. It's boring. It is one of those things that it just takes time to do. But I figured if I had to suffer through it, I'd make other people suffer through it with me and at least teach it along the way. Okay. Do that. Do that. So we're going to go there, there. This, these 4 down here. See, I just don't like doing one part. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move these ones on top of that, so you'll have all 5 parts. And these ones will move on top of that. And then we technically save the step by doing that. And then now I can see. Okay. What I did differently here. And those 3 will go there. Add a couple more steps. Down. Actually, I want to add a step in after that. I want to move these to there. So when you come down the step line, those are already on. Build those up, and then what I need to do, save it, go back out, create another submodel. Okay, back in, hide. Okay, that's a submodel. That is. Now, there is a reason why I'm not just copying from the bottom here, because each one of these have an individual call out for their respective step. So what I'm doing is essentially just making a new call out, even though the submodel is technically the same. So that's not where it's. There we go. We're just going to make sure that they're all in the right spot, and they look like they are. Click on that. Click on all 4 of those. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button anyway. There we go. And then ignore all that. We're going to put it in 37. That way we know where it's at. And what step is this? 41. All right. And to get ahead of the game, create another submodel. While we're here, and like I said, if there there's so many different ways that you can do this. If you were more organized than what I am, um, you wouldn't be doing this step. I mean, you could literally just go down. You know what you want. Just go down and do it. But I like to just plop everything, just build, and then move everything to the end. Do it this way. But I mean, that's my preference on how to design and build. So anyone here, anybody who watches this, you just find your own way. There's no right or wrong answer to it. And move that up to up to 40. We'll eventually get to that. And then that should bring us up to this portion, which is fine. All right, back to show all. Save it. Instructions. Wait for it to load. Steps. And all right. Then we just go back to where we were working, which was right here. Do that. That nose. Send around top. Perfect. And then I think I'm going to do the same as I did before. Get those four and shove them up there. And we're going to add a couple more steps. All right. Now this is again where mine differs. I added there's another height to it. I just need to find where I put that height. There it is. That. Move all that. We're going to move that up into an empty step. Go up. And then grab as much as we can that we don't need. Essentially disregarding it for right now. And that looks about right. Okay. Oh, missing one. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. And add a couple more steps into that. Then I can move all this stuff down a little bit further. And then that. And this is where you can go back up and, like, I completely forgot how did this right here. Okay, I did it in a second step. I was looking for those. Okay. Just select the ones you need, put them back in. And then select all that, move them down. Do that. That. Put that in one step. And then these 4 in that step. Okay. And we're going to add those 4 to those. Now we're here. So split it in half. See where we need to be. Okay. Just that. And then just trying to hurry up and get a lot of these out of my way. Okay. Yeah, we're just selecting and get rid of. Now you have a call out here. What I'm going to do is select those pieces. I want to create that into a submodel. And then put that into the empty step. So we're somewhat getting back on track with what the manual said is saying. Got all that. And then what you can do is go in here and view these steps. You could generate the steps, but I kind of like to do it myself. This will be there. These 3 will be in step 2. And then return to parent. So we're back up on the main step, but then I have my steps already created for that call out. And that was one thing I didn't do with these side pieces. I haven't created the steps for them yet. So all right. So top of that. Move those down. Do those 4. Yeah. Actually gotta put those in a separate step. Okay. Oh. I don't think I want those on top yet. Or those. What I think I want to do. Okay, so in here, that's where they stopped. So, yeah, pretty much underneath. So, all right. Well, we got the bag 2, which is all right. So they have you start building up the sides and everything, which is what I want to do too as well. So okay. So what we're gonna do now is we know 48 is where we're stopping at for tonight. With organizing. So what I wanted to do is go into page. Now I want to go into page design, and most of your steps are going to be almost completed right now. What we're going to do is that we're going to change layout, and what I want is a vertical 1 2, just like so. I am going to edit preferences. That's not it. Maybe it's in global style. Uh, want to see. We got to. What I'm trying to find is that right now it's in a horizontal. It's in a horizontal layout. What I'm trying to do is turning it to a vertical. Um, view. No. Range. Page setup. There it is. Page setup. A4 is your standard 11 by 8.5 page. They do it in, I believe, centimeters. Oh, that's in pixels. There we go. And then we're going to do inches. Then we can choose our margins. And then hit apply. So if you want to do it in a custom or do it in a different, you could. We're just going to stick with A4. We're going to hit apply. That is that. And it is. That was just what I did. And it's been a while since I've been in here, so and there was a massive, pretty big update for the instruction maker where you can just zoom in and zoom out now. That was in the beta a while ago. It just was put into onto the main onto the main put it out in the open. Uh, brain is fickle tonight. Thinking too much. Line separator. So we'll go down and go down through this. I'm going to bring this up, and then we're going to hide that for now. That way everybody can see what I'm looking at. And we're going to go back here. There we go. All right. Actually, almost. There we go. doing some cleanup work. All right, now we got formatting to do. Line separator on columns. That's one thing I do want. We're going to do global style. I'm not. Global style pretty much affects the entire format, what you want to do and everything. So, what I typically like to do is go in here, set what I want individually, and then I'll lock the page. I mean, it's really repetitive again, but I could go back to the format, unselect that, do lines, uh, background, between lines, step numbers. I do want step numbers on, and you can change the different uh, text to however you want it. I think I'm just going to leave it whatever Arial bold at 60. I could change the color of that as well. So if I wanted blue, I can change its step numbers. Just stick it black. Padding. Parts list. Not worried about parts list right now. Actually, we can probably turn that off for right now. New part highlight. I do like having the part highlight on with what I need to do. And you can change the color in that. So it could be blue, it could be black, it could be whatever color you want, purple. Doesn't matter. Count multiplier. Just leave that. Call out borders, line separator. Arrows, guide, border fill, typeface. There is a way to make it horizontal, and I do not remember how to exactly. There we go. Apply to following. That'll change that all up, but insert change layouts. Preferences. How do I get the pick for the 4x? Oh, this right here. No. That's why I created. If you see how I went into the step editor, how I have everything, all my submodels named the same. Essentially, all these are a copy. So I built one, and then I went back and copied it and put it where I needed it to. So when you go into page design, it will the instruction maker will automatically read that submodel. So if you have multiple of that submodel, it'll read it and it'll say, hey, you want to you need 4 of these. You need to build 4 of these. And that's just the call out. And that's how you get it. That's why I was going back, say down here, and I went in and had to go back and forth, deleting all my single pieces and making a submodel, creating it, just so I can get that little call out. Same thing for down here. Same exact thing.
Yeah, I mean that honestly, when I first started, I had no idea how to do it. I watched a couple people how to do it, and it wasn't until um because I did it a really long way. I would make pages, set it in here, then I would export them out, put them in a PD when I had Adobe, put them in a PDF and create my own PDF, and it was a nightmare. And then just started messing around with it and realized that hey, if I have multiples of the same submodel, they just got to be named. That's why I said the naming for the submodels is important, especially um if you're making instructions. So, because then you can come out and do these call outs like that. And for the life of me, you would think it would be under shortcut, preferences, file, page setup, exit instructions. I don't want to open, edit, edit preferences. No. Range, preview. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Don't want to be in step editor. Page design, global setting. It's okay. Well, export page. You would think it'd be under page setup. Parts table edit. I don't want to do that. Units, centimeter, pixels. No. Ah. Okay. So apparently there just isn't a function to flip it from a horizontal to vertical like I was hoping. So the other way is to let me write these numbers down: 11.693 and 8.268. Write those down, and then what I'll do is 8.268 and my 11.693. Apply. Now this should change everything the way I need it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now I'm going to bring my thing back up. My Lego instructions, and all right, now global style. Yeah. We're gonna go back to global style, and then I want part call out, part list. There we go. And then they have rounded edges. We'll do 5. Nope. 10. 10. 15. I like 15. 15 looks good. So, and then I can go, okay, and that was under global. So I just changed every single thing in the entire
uh, the entire instructions, so therefore all my callouts are going to be rounded. All my parts list is going to be rounded, and I can add a thicker border if I want. Three. We'll stick with the two. And then I don't want to mess with the scale on here. The aerial typeface, I'm just going to keep the same color and size, the same padding, indentation. Yeah, I'm just going to keep all that the same. So, what I want to do now is we're going to go to Format, and we can adjust the scale. Fortunately, there's that. There's that. Yeah. Fortunately, aha. Not going to look exactly the same like I wanted it to. But what I can do is move that part down. But I need to flip it, and they have it all the way down at the end of the page. And that's the only thing I really don't care for about this is that I can't, if I want to put the one down lower, I can't do that. Or put this down lower. I can put it down here, but I do want to up the scale of this. So we're going to do that. And now you can see this one has 3. We're going to change the layout and see if we can find. And they don't have a custom layout like that. So our instructions are going to be 1, 2. We're going to want to do. We're just going to stick with that 1 and 2, left and right. So yeah, we'll just stay with that. So I'm going to go back over here. I want to, okay, and this is how you're going to be able to flip stuff. You're going to go to change, click on it. It's going to go to format, and then you're going to go change step view. Now, what change step view is going to do is you're going to be able to flip everything, and then you'll be able to line everything up the way you want it. Like I'm going to start down a little bit lower, like that, and to get what they have, I already have the angle a little bit. What I want to do is try to click on one of those pieces. I'm going to activate a buffer exchange, and I should be able to now see X. I think I want to go negative on the Z. So let's try it out. Negative 100. Nope. That's 0. We're going to go Y. Negative 100 on Y. Nope. There we go. That's what I was looking for. But I think negative 100 is a bit much. So wow. All right. There we go. So we're just going to do 50, see what that looks like. 75. Oh, we'll do 75. And nope, come on. Oh, stop. Going over there like that. Why? Oh, force a habit. Oh, come on. See, let me move it there, but it won't let me. And this is the glitchy part about instruction makers, is page setup. Come on. Nope, I want that. Maybe it's this scale. It does not like it. And I'm going to flip that around. And instead of doing 2, I'm just going to do the 1. Just like that. And see if it will. I don't know why. It's being a pain. Okay. Oh. How you doing, Builds by Matt? Good evening. We've gotten up to a certain point, and what we're doing right now is I'm fighting with the instruction maker. So it keeps on wanting to shift over and not cooperate. So we're just going to flip this around. And do something like that. And I think we're going to take Lego's green and do that. Yeah, I haven't figured it out, and every time I get close to doing it or figuring out, they roll out a new update, changes. The big new one is not really a big change, but it does add a feature of being able to zoom in and out on your page. So then we're going to do that. And what I like to do is once I get my page to scale and everything set up, I like to lock my page. That way, nothing can change on it. If you do anything different below, it that's what it is. It's not going to do that, but I don't want to lock it quite yet. I do want to add in a new page, but I think I want to add in a new page before. And of course, it's not letting me do that. Delete. Delete. So I'm going to have to go back to step editor, return to parent, return to parent, and I think I'm going to have to put in a new step, move those down to step 2, and usually that works. Did it work here? It did work here. But now I'm at step 2 instead of 1. Oh, boy. So that's not what I want. Can I put a 0 in there? Nope. All right. We're just going to trash it then. That should move everything up. Be back to where it was. Edit. Let me add. And this is the one thing that I know that's changed. Insert page before. That's what I'm looking for. Insert page before. Okay. Now, they put it over there. Before you can right click on it, and it would be right here. Where it say insert page before or after. See, that's new. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do a cover page. So that's going to have, I'm going to have, actually, insert image. I'm going to do a placeholder. Let's see, is it in my downloads? It is not in my downloads. Short desktop. Go to my desktop. SpaceX 4XU renders. Do I have? No, I do not have. Okay, cancel. Downloads. Nope. I think I might have deleted it. Oh. Cancel. Give me a second. I need to. Actually, we are. Let me do that. And do I have just the studio? I don't have that on here. Okay. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds and I should have file open, desktop. YouTube temps PSD. There we go. Do that, hide that. There we go. Edit, copy. Now we're going to do file, open a new. Nope. New. Photo. Sure. Right now, print 8x4. That's what I want. And I want that in inches. Height. White. No. Create. Edit. Paste. And sorry, it's not showing up. I'm just trying to get a photo here real quick. I'm using a Photopea, which is a lot like Adobe Photoshop. Okay, file. Good enough. Export as a PNG. XU. Save. And all right. Exit out of that. Leave. There we go. Okay. So I just hurried up, did a quick photo. What I want to do is I'm going to insert an image. Go over here to the big plus, insert image, and then I'm going to go to wherever you have your picture at, and then you can open it, throw it in here, and you can rescale it. This is a pretty bad photo. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then what I want to do is I'm going to leave the backhand side empty. So this will be the top backhand side. I'm going to insert a page after. I want to describe page. Well, I think these two pages are going to be. So the backhand page, I can put font on. Do a nice lengthy description here. And this would be technically page 2. The render itself of the rocket was done in studio. Then I went to an AI website, just messed around with it, with doing different types of adjectives and verbs on an AI website, and that's how I got the background. And then I went to Photopea and just kind of added both together. So, and I need to do a better one. So, actually, I'll probably do a little tutorial here. Just give me a little bit of tutorial on the rendering. I did do a tutorial on a pretty deep, in-depth tutorial on Friday the last stream uh, with how to do rendering. Uh, so right now, what I'm trying to do is right now is that uh, oh, thank you. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to figure out. So the rule of thumb with books, all your odd pages are going to be your top, and all your even pages are going to be your backhand side. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think my backhand side of the cover, which will be page 2 in here, I'm going to have description, and I think my top layer of page 4 or of my second page, which would be page 3, will be more description. So I'm going to keep those two. So page 4 will be my back of my second page. So I'm going to keep those in reserve. Actually, I'm going to lock these for right now, just so nothing gets put on them. There's nothing with them. And then what I like to do, um, I will go to. How do I want to do this? Do I want to do? I don't want to do. Yes, I do. I want to go to global style. Now, global style, I think will should not supersede any of these, but and that's where I think I need to unlock these ones, the lock on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to insert another image, and I have a watermark set up as a backdrop for most of my instructions and whatnot. So, and it was something that I created years ago with my logo on it, and it helps with um, a watermark will help with people trying to steal your instructions and trying to place it somewhere else because then they don't the people who want to steal it will either if they're really emphatic about taking your stuff, they will go through and build it in studio and do everything I'm doing all over again just to get the watermark out of it. Um, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to do that. They're going to try to scrub it out as best as they can, but it's good to have your logo or your watermark in there. Yeah, and it just helps deter the theft of your property. Even if you don't have a copyright or a trademark listed, it's just you still everything still falls under an IP copyright, intellectual property copyright. So, and that's where you're protected and you're not protected. It gets fussy. So, if depending on where you're at and what the laws are, IP pretty much will copy any of your thoughts, any of your ideas, anything you created. So, let me get this up. I need to find my desktop and instruction stuff. Did I put it in there? Oh, I forgot about one major thing. I cannot believe I forgot about that. Logo build. Let me see if I got it. There we go. Uh, yeah, he mentioned that. I mean, I've had my instructions stolen too for my Sea Dragon build, and some scam site just they're literally on Reddit looking for people. They took out all my watermarks. They took out all my
all my stuff. I mean, it it was a badge of honor. I mean, even Ben said it was a badge of honor to, oh, I finally got something stolen of mine, and yeah. But the sucky thing is that they stole it, and they're making money off of what you did. Now, lucky for me, I went on the site that I got on the Reddit page. I said I at the time I did not have these instructions up. Um, they're a work in progress, and I gave them. I specifically said the only place where I'm selling them, well, at the time was on Rubricable. That's where I'm selling it. I'm not selling it anywhere else. And I said if um, because I got emails stating, "Hey, I didn't get my instructions. I didn't get my Legos." It became a big hassle on me, and I said, "Well, I apologize, but you got scammed because I haven't got the instructions up." So it became a whole fiasco, um, and I felt bad for the people that got scammed. A couple of them came to me, but I said once I get the instructions done, I'll leave your email with me, and I sent them a copy of the instructions. So, I mean, it depends on how you want to handle it. Some people would have said, "Nope, you got scammed. That was your tough luck." It all depends on how you want to proceed with it. Well, it's because I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I just don't know, and I just keep my mouth shut and listen. But yeah, when we're talking about theft and whatnot, I knew what Ben was talking about. I knew exactly what he was doing, what he's going through. So, all right, now okay, that's see, this is my watermark, but see, I inserted it as a image, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go over here to global style. I am going to look at it's right here at the top. You go to background and you go to fill. And then what you can do is go to fill, and then most people don't realize, but you can click on image, choose image, and now and it did supersede the lock. Okay, which is fine. Fill page, fit the page, what I want. Okay, come on. That's not what I want. Image, center. There we go. We're going to center, and then I am going to we're going to do 15%. Yeah, I like 15%. So, right. And then I have my watermark, and it is on every single one of these. And for whatever reason, the lock is being a pain in the butt, but I'm going to create a photo. I want to go to my page setup, and what I'll do is I'll take these numbers to get an exact photo, and I'll take it into my photo editor, set up a page, and then that way I can get an exact photo. You won't see any of the background on that front page. So, and that might be a good thing to do next Monday. I know it's after 10 right now. I've actually been on for 2 hours. Um, but if you do that, you'll have a watermark on the back of your instructions all the way through, and this is one just a good way to have people. And I think I got a lighter one. Let me change that out. It's at 15%. It's center good. Okay. And as you can see, that I did varying opaque, varying opaque. I'm having a hard time saying it. Uh, lightness and color, the opacity. I know I just botched that up, and then why is it doing it to those ones? All right. So we're going to go back to, but see, it's showing it here, and this is what I don't like about it. It shows it here, not like that, and then it's on this page just like that. So, but I think we have a pretty good start. Have everything, and then the big thing that I completely forgot about doing is I need to go insert a photo. Uh, Desktop. Logo, instruction stuff, and open. And my little fun thing for the kids is have Klutz the alien, my technical advisor, in there. So what I'll do is I have a couple different positions of the little gray alien dude. Um, so when I get to like an area that it's a little bit tougher to explain, what I'll do is do like a thought bubble and type out exactly what needs to be done. And then he's pointing to that area is just so when people are going through the instructions, it's called out. It's called out a lot better than just seeing a tan gray blob in there with a bunch of text. So when I'm not sure what I want to do is if I want him on this page or want him on the next page, I think I'm going to want him on the other page. I'll do my description of the 4XU, and that's probably going to be 2 pages. So I might actually have to add um, insert a page after. So I'm going to have my description right here on this page, and then I'm going to have. I want to delete him, and he is going to go on this page somewhere. So up high, down low. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure something out. I might have to create a whole new um, disclaimer or be on the lookout, a bolo. Um, be on the lookout for them. That's so it'll fit the page a lot better. So, but as you can see, got my watermark, everything in here. And I don't know why it's showing supersized on here and then showing perfectly fine on here. Um, One way to test it out to make sure things are going, I'm up to page 6. What you can do is export. Instead of saying all, you can go 1 to 6. You can change the size. I normally just leave it at 1. My file destination instructions, yeah, that sounds fine. Export.
It'll bring up a pop window that you can not being able to see right now, and it'll set up a PDF. So, and that's not where I wanted that. I'm just going to throw it on my desktop for ease of access and save, and then hit export. So then it'll export the instructions and create a PDF file. Uh, Let me check something real quick. Browser full screen. Do do do. Background. Background. Nope, that's background. Studio modes. Browser. It's not what I was hoping for. Oh, open folder. No. Okay, I'm not going to be able to. Oh, never mind. There it is. So there's that. And then I have it right here. Saturn 4 4XU, Saturn 5 4XU instructions. That's the PDF. So we can come in here and take a look and see if everything's going all right. And I can already tell my watermark is smaller than what Studio was even saying. So for whatever reason, I'm going to have to enlarge it and get it to where it will work with the PDF. And that's where where you have to play around with it. So start of your instructions, I would just get all this formatting stuff out of the way and make sure it's working for you. See how it's already doing it up here. It's perfectly fine on the first one, but then not so much. So we'll have to figure something out. So I got to figure out what I did differently up here. So it's locked it. Unlock. Send to back. Nope. So if you hit send to back, and you have multiple pictures, that it would have been automatically sent to the back. So that's part of the global style. Yeah, I'll get it. But all right, this is something I'll probably work off screen. Have it ready by next Monday. I'll get all the formatting done and where I'm at. Before I go, I did want to stop and I want to save and exit. Let it load back up. And we are going to do a small render tutorial for you, Matt. So, all right. So my thing on Friday was a little bit more of a rant, not a. It was a tutorial to explain my rant. Um, Pretty much all you really need to be concerned about is the render quality. You got medium, high, very high, and custom. Now with the render quality, your the samples are what are kind of like on a printer, and they call them dots per inch.
Um, on this, in this case, it would be called PSI or PPSI, however you want to put it, um, pixels per square inch. So the more pixels you have in a square inch, um, the finer your resolution is going to be. Um, and then you can come in here, preset the size you want in a 1916 9:16 ratio, a 3:4 ratio, or if you want to do just a 1:1 ratio. That is completely up to you. Um, I typically go for 2160 by 380 3840. That is my standard that I keep. Um, my samples or my PSI or PPSI samples per square inch, or they might even do per centimeter. It's per squared something. I keep mine at 4400. I think and on the stream on Friday, I went into and showed different renders at 66, 8800. I even showed one that was at 16,000 pixels per square inch. And after 4400, you really have a hard time seeing the difference in what. So I keep mine around, and then on top of it, the render times get longer. Um, for something like this, I'm probably looking at maybe 45 minutes. With this 2160 by 3840, probably looking about 45 minutes to an hour. Um, the one I did was at a 1920 by 1080, and that one took me at the same sample setting. It took me around 35, 35, 35 minutes to complete it. And then when I did it at 66, 88, and 16, it progressively went uphill. The 16,000 took over 2 hours for the same photo. So depends on what your site is. Another is the background light and background setting. Yeah, it's a long time. I rushed it before that stream on Friday to just be able to talk about it and whatnot. So, uh, actually, I got the numbers right here. I wrote them down. Yeah, 4,400 samples for 1980, but if I can find it, 1080 by 1920 with this setting took me 45 minutes to do. At 8,800 samples, it took me took me 1 hour, so it added 15, and I doubled it to 16,000. It took right around 2 hours to do. So just keep that in mind. The more samples, the sharper the image is going to be, the lot better quality it's going to pop out. Um, the next thing to think about is your background color. Um, what what's nice about this is that you can do a solid color back, or you can do any solid color background. It won't let you bring in any type of photos to do a background. That's the only thing that it won't let you do. So I typically do kind of like a a grayish, light bluish grayish color background, and with most of my builds being white or a darker color or black, or it pops a little bit better in my mind. Couple of them I've done in black. I mean, but the whole, you can go in here and change, do whatever setting you want to do, and get whatever color you want. For me, I typically do a transparent background. Um, I like to have the floor shadow
but a lot of times I just get rid of it. And when you do a transparent background, you want to come down here to the format and change it to either an 8-bit PNG or 16-bit PNG. I personally typically always do a 16-bit, and as you can see, it gets rid of the background completely. And for lights, completely up to you. You can adjust the intensity, um, and depending on how you like it, it doesn't really show the intensity on here. Um, the standard I think is 1.0. I normally do a 0.7, 0.75, 0.8 um, with what with normally what I do. Um, your device, if you this just tells the program where to start rendering at, what resources to use. For me, I stick with a CPU. It's a lot faster because the beefier CPU you get, the faster your speeds are going to be. Um, some people, depending on, and it all depends on the size of your photo, what you want to do. Um, Most of the time, I'm going to recommend most people, if they don't have like a Threadripper CPU, to just use your graphics card. Depending on how you feel. I mean, like I said, it's all personal preference whether you want to use your CPU or your GPU. Laptop users, I would recommend using the CPU, just because of the heat factor. The GPU does tend to run hotter in a laptop. Um, Tower, Mac, any all-in-one type of computers. Again, it's up to you if you have Mac or Windows. It's all personal preference. Um, Camera setup, you can save these settings. You can do a different type of rotations. I typically have a custom, and I get it to where I'm looking at where I like it the most. Um, and then you have orthographic if you want to do it that. I normally just do perspective. And then you can change your field of view depending on what you want to do. Field of view, that's 15. I mean, we can go 20 to, you know, 20. I could do 10. For whatever reason, it likes to change the zoom, and that's the zoom scale. So, um, another thing like you could have is the material effects where there would be the Lego logo on every stud, or I think they might put even on the back of the tile. I haven't tested it out, but I think there's a Lego thing on the back of the tiles as well. If you wanted to do that, I usually just leave it on. Most people don't. I like to leave it on because we're playing with Lego and at least give them that type of respect. You could do UV degradation. This is the yellowing of the pieces. So I can do 50. I mean, it doesn't show it on here, but it will show it in the rendering. So point 0. I think it was 0.15. I don't remember. Uh, and then you can also turn in scratches and minimum and max. You can play around with that as well. I typically leave those off because I want people to see a fresh, brand new build like you would if you went out and bought brand new parts and pieces. And then the nice thing about the camera setup, you can save your setting, and it goes into playing. You can do animation
and the animation I went into a lot better detail with it on the Friday stream. You can set it up and do uh uh sorry, just had a brain fart. Uh you can set it up and do stop motion. So each render would be a frame, and depending on how many frames per second and how long you want the video to be and how much motion you want into it, um, you go into all that. Now they do have animation on here for rendering. Hey Ben, how you doing? Just giving a quick tutorial, and I'm about to wrap things up for tonight. I've been going for about 2.5 hours now, so so um, with the animation and studio rendering, it's pretty much finally taking a break. Yeah, I know that feeling. I need to get my butt in gear and clean up. I got to clean up my whole Lego mess and get the Christmas tree up out of the garage and put up. So, so okay. The animation on this does exactly what I just said, but it pretty much cues the entire video process. So if you do a frame rate of 60 frames per second for total of 30, that is a 100, that's 1800 frames. So what the program does is it sets up and renders 1800 times, and it automatically does the movement for you. The movement for just this is you can do a rotation speed down here, have it revolve. You can set the speed on how fast you want it to revolve, and if you want to do it counterclockwise or clockwise, you can turn that on or off. But that's what this does. And you can also do a brick falling down effect. So, kind of like how they have on the parts design, or I believe it's the Bricklink download page for this. You can see them rotating it and parts and pieces falling down. I think it's the Batmobile. Um, that's what that's how the effect you would have. And again, you can do render. The render quality is at pixels per square inch. Um, However you do custom or just do very high. But again, if you do one and it takes 45 minutes, imagine it's times that by 1800 in this case. Um, so it's going to be working 24/7 nonstop until it completes those 1800s. So you're looking at, if say an hour, you're looking at 1800 hours that your computer is going to be running to complete this animation. So, and then you get to choose your background color and whatnot. So, lights, same, is pretty much almost the rest of it's the same setup as the other one. Yeah, and the animation, like I said, it's a stop motion animation. It's literally rendering each individual frame, but it's automatically rotating it for you. You don't have to worry about it. Um, Unlike kind of like what Kodiak Bricks is doing, he's doing stop motion. He's literally doing one one uh one frame, going in, adjusting what he needs to adjust, coming back in, doing another render, and then going back. He's going back and forth. and depending on how long how long you want your video and how fast you want your video to go, it it just adds up. And I give Kodiak kudos. I knew exactly what he was doing when he explained what he was doing, and I think that's his big project right now. I think he said he's been working on it over a year or something. So, but just to give you an idea, I'm not going to render right now because once I start doing it, the stream goes to crap, and because it eats up all my system resources just to render. And then it takes about a good 5-10 minutes to realize, hey, you're using a bunch of resources that I'm not allowed to use. So, but that's just to give you a quick tutorial on rendering and how to render. And then, uh, let's see, I should have a couple rendering pictures. Desktop. Go there. Did not get that one done. I want to show you guys what I've been working on. What Ben got me working on. Lego Designs. We're gonna go and there we go. Renders, and again, this is the same 4400 samples per square inch that I did. Now this was photo edited because I added in my logo afterwards, so the quality might not be the same as it when it first came out. But I mean, you can get up in here. You can tell I had stuff uh, overlapping each other. When they overlap each other and you don't take it out, this is what you'll see in the rendering is this refraction degradation in the rendering itself. So, and this is like one of my first renders with this. But again, I used that 4400 sample rating, and this is what it came out to be. And this is just essentially my measuring stick for creating the Saturn 4XU. Close that out, and then what I wanted to do is show the Saturn 2. This was off of Project Horizon, and this is what Ben pretty much. I completely forgot about it, and then because when I read the article that Ben has posted on his Discord, and then I went and found the unclassified documents, and I posted it underneath the video he posted. I happened to go through it, went back, and I completely forgot about it. They actually had concept designs for the Saturn 1 and the Saturn 2. So, yeah. So I went through and recreated the Saturn 2 for that mission. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's a pretty good reading, and you have to take it in as this was Cold War era stuff. When Russia was the USSR and they had missiles off the coast of Florida. I mean, it's pretty interesting, and they even go into the whole politics on it in that paper. Now, what I'm not sure is uh, if that article was the only piece, or if there was more documentation with it. That's just what I could find at the time, and when I read through it glanced through it the first time, and I was like, oh, this is exactly what that video was showing.
So, and in there they had the photo right here. So I just sized it up. Um, this one was this photo over here. I just cropped it, and this was the actual size from from what it was there on this page, and then I just copied, shrink it, stretched it to fit the uh, the photo, and I ended up with this guy. It's not complete. I still got a lot of filling in to do on the cones and whatnot, but I thought it was a interesting build, especially with being in concept rockets. Yeah. So, well, let me know if you need any help with it. If you ever want to do it, I'm not going to shy away from help for helping. I at least can do the rocket portions of it if you want to do the moon base stuff. So, but yeah, that I blame Ben on this one. I'm going to start calling the Saturn II Ben's rocket. And then you have on Sunday, or it was yesterday, on Ben's stream, had one of his uh, followers. I think he's in the lug, but he came up with this little connection piece. It was a universal joint with a link, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Um, it seemed to work, so it's just a new connection type if you're looking to do a chain type thing. Um, I call it the Hush connection after the gentleman that came up that found it. Johnny calls it the Hush maneuver. I know Ben knows who he is, but yeah, that was the best. That's a nice little link connection, something different. Uh, and I think that was about it. I think it's gonna be it for tonight. Um, we're gonna do file. Okay, it's already saved. So, but that's where we're gonna end it tonight. Instructions. I got to get the settings. I'll figure out the set my format, and then I'll come back next Monday, explain how I got it and everything, and then we'll start back from there. Yeah, that connection worked fantastic. There's a couple builds that I could actually use that in, um, just to have the chain look. I showed that on our Discord build and chill night, and Logan went bananas over it. So, but all right. Wow, it's been a long stream. About 2 hours 40 minutes. So, everybody, have a good night. Hope to see you on Wednesday. I'll be in design mode doing the SLS rocket. We'll be going back on that, and there will be no. I won't be doing a Friday stream this week unless something really fires me up and I get a bug up my butt and want to do streams. So, everybody have a good night. I'll see you on Wednesday.